Hello everybody and welcome out to a brand new episode of the Save Slot 3 Gamescast. I'm your host, whoever Gizmo joined us by Massive Das.
Hello everyone.
And of course, Mr. CW Lanky.
Hello Dave.
Boys, how are we on this fine British bank holiday?
Not too bad.
Are you both working the bank holiday tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Get a real job, get a real job. Right.
Rain anyway, Dave.
Yeah, well, we've had very eclectic weather today. It's been rain and now beautiful sunshine, now that nothing's open. But had a lovely coffee today, though, so I'm okay. I know this is what the viewers need to know. Dark Mocha, for anyone that's asking. But before we get to coffee talk, let's get to the news with Pengils, the Pengils newsroom.
Unfortunately, there's no coffee talk episode 3 on the news.
But how many news items have we got, Pengils?
Apparently, there's 8 news items now because you've added one.
I have. It's a baker's dozen.
It's a baker's dozen. And number one, I guess you've just told me news that PlayStation Remote Play is going to be available on Android TVs and was it Chromecast? You say as well?
Yep, Android TV and Chromecasts, including the Sony Bravia range of televisions. They've added PlayStation Remote Play, so you can now remote play your PlayStation 5 or 4 from upstairs to downstairs, Craig, if that is something you desire.
I guess if you don't have to move the console.
We have our Stadia Chromecast, Pengi, so we might as well.
Yeah, but my TV and my PlayStation are in the same place.
Oh, you might be on the bus. Might be plug it into the TV screen on the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah.
Okay, and the news I've got. Number one, a new Batman Arkham game's been announced. And it's Batman Arkham Shadow, and it's exclusively for MetaQuest 3 coming late 2024. So any Batman fans, you're going to have to go get one of those MetaQuest 3s to play a new Batman game.
Well, one of us has a MetaQuest 3. So is that person excited to play a new Arkham game?
Yeah. I am excited to play a new Arkham game. It is from Camouflage. I've not played the Iron Man game, but apparently that's pretty good from them, so if the Iron Man game is good, hopefully the Batman one will be as well. And this now makes like the third MetaQuest 3 exclusive game, because we had the Aliens game, and I believe Metro Awakening is also a MetaQuest 3. I say only because it is coming to PSVR 2, but it's not on like MetaQuest.
What is a PSVR 2?
Who knows? No one knows.
That's what that is, Dave.
Dead. Yeah, well, that's exciting news for the MetaQuest 3 owners in the channel. Craigo, is it enough to get you to try something out?
No.
I knew the answer, but you got to ask. This is the content of the podcast. Yeah, I think it's cool. Obviously, we haven't seen gameplay, so when we've seen gameplay, we'll comment more. But it's good to see that it is alive and well over on Metaland, unlike poor old PlayStation VR 2.
It's got to be better than that Suicide Squad game as well, right?
I don't think it's difficult.
Yeah. That's something. And weirdly, this is like it's the first Arkham game in like 8 years, but Suicide Squad obviously it's the same universe. Like when I was thinking, it's a spin-off Arkham game, but there's actually been quite a few spin-offs because there was the previous VR game, which launched with like PSVR 1, and there's the 3DS/Vita. Side-scrolling Metroidvania one as well.
Was that co-op one not in the same universe then? That Gotham? Was it Gotham Knights?
Yeah, that was not in the same universe.
No.
Weird.
Even though, from what I played of Gotham Knights, it seems more in the universe than the Suicide Squad game. But
Yeah, they're weird with it, aren't they? Rocksteady. Yeah. They don't play well with others.
Yeah, they don't like the Origins.
No, and Origins is really good. To be honest with you, I think it's one of the better ones. Backwards compatible on your Xbox, Craig.
There you go. But that wasn't the only new game announced. We also got Funko Fusion announced for September 13th for PS4, PS5, Series, and later for Switch in November. has IP such as Battlestar Galactica, Masters of the Universe, Scott Pilgrim, and Xena Warrior Princess. And did either of you see the trailer for this new Funko Fusion game?
I did. It looks a bit crazy. It's like a multiverses third-person shooter, fun time to be had kind of thing. It looked very strange.
Yeah, I got like Lego vibes, and the studio behind it is headed up by an ex Traveler's Tale person, and a bit of like Lego Dimensions, because that like added all the universes together again. But that vibe is slightly, more mature with the shooting, and like Walking Dead is one of the IPs, but the game's a 12 rated game. But it's using the Walking Dead IP and things like that in it as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only previous Funko Pop game experience I have is playing that Gears Pop game that came a couple of years ago to Android. That was pretty good. So, I mean, not for us, but I don't think we're the target audience for such things.
I thought Funko was like dead now.
No, it lives on.
I thought everyone lost interest in Funko Pops now.
Well,
apparently not,
who knows?
Craigo. Apparently not.
Or not. They got a whole game coming out, which is, like I said, available on all systems in September, apart from Switch, which is November. So there you go.
I'm watching the trailer now. It doesn't look terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all played worse, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right, and I was going to say, speaking of worse, I don't think these games are going to be that bad, but May's PlayStation Plus Essential games have been confirmed as of like a few days ago to be EA Sports SC24, Ghost Runner 2, Tunic, and the Destiny 2 Lightfall expansion. So you're getting 4 things in the Plus Essentials in May. Will you be playing any of these, Craigie?
Probably not. I cannot play FIFA anymore because I've escaped that addiction, boys. All right, I can't go back. It's like fucking crack. I'll never escape again. All right.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Cannot do it. So I can't play that. Obviously, Destiny 2 is the worst game ever made. So I couldn't care less about that. What was the other one? Tunic. I was kind of interested in when it came to Game Pass ages ago, but apparently it's quite hard and quite difficult to figure out what you're doing as well. There's like the weird manual.
Yeah, you got to read
into it.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if I'm there for that. And what was the other one, Pengi?
Ghost Runner 2.
No, isn't that hard?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so probably not for me, but it's quite a cool little selection of games, isn't it?
What about you, Davey?
Well, I'm sorry, Craigo, because I'm very pleased to announce the Save Slot 3 Pro Clubs will be starting this week. So you'll be installing EA FC24 for that.
I can't do it, though.
You can. You're going to be my little winger.
Don't make me do it, Dave.
Pengi up top. Obviously, me in the middle, running the show. But yeah, we're going to play Pro Clubs. Yes, all jokes aside, I want to play Pro. Oh, I do want to play Pro Clubs. I need to finish Ghost Runner 1 because that was on Plus not that long ago.
You need to finish it, Dave. Do you?
It's really good. Like, it's really, really good. Yeah. It's not that hard. It's just like, I don't know. I think you'd like it, Craig. I think it's a very Craig game. Destiny 2, obviously not. There's not enough time in the day, is there? And what was there was a fourth one. What's the fourth one, Pengi? Tunic. Nah, it's been on Game Pass for a while. If I wanted to play, I already would have. Perfect for a little handheld though. So if you got your Portal, but yeah. So get FIFA downloaded, Craig, because we're going to play it. Sorry, mate.
I still haven't bought or really played a FIFA since 16. So that was when I broke free.
Well, obviously we won't be clicking on Ultimate Team because that's the problem. But Pro Club's great game.
Oh no, I never spent money, Dave. But the time, Dave.
Who needs time?
It just disappears.
Who needs time, Grego?
It's terrifying, Dave. I've become a different man, Dave.
What about you, Pengi?
I don't care about any of these. I've already played Destiny 2, If I wanted to play Tunic, I would have done so already on Game Pass and that, like Craig said. Not played first Ghost Runner, so I'm not really fussed about 2. don't really care about EA Sports FC 24, to be honest.
Wow.
Brutal.
Now we know.
PlayStation tried for you, Chris. They did.
Yeah, they tried. But if you don't like any of them in May, you might like coming out May 21st. Finally, from Ubisoft, X Defiant come to PS5, Series, and PC.
I didn't realise this was still a thing. I thought this had been cancelled.
No, it's still a thing.
It's the shooter,
Yeah,
right?
it's the weird shooter where you got teams based on other IPs, I believe.
Oh,
You have, like,
God.
a-
It's like a
you
hero
have-
shooter.
Fun.
It's like a hero shooter?
Kind of.
I think that,
Yeah, it's got. I played it in beta. It was pretty fun. It does a weird thing where like it's a hero shooter, but all the like hero classes are different games. So you'll have like the Far Cry characters and the Rainbow Six characters and stuff. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun.
Is it free to play?
it is free to play.
It has a glimmer of a chance then.
Yes.
Although I still feel like in 3 months' time we'll be seeing the big apology on tweet as we're shutting the service down and not supporting the game anymore.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. There was also the other one. Was it Heartlands? Division Heartlands, which is the other shooter. That was like a free-to-play one or something that they were doing. I can't.
Did they do a battle royale? And did that ever come out?
Yeah, that did come out. I think I played one game of it. Can't even remember what that was called.
No,
but
I
yeah,
can't.
They did do one of them. Yeah. That's. So will any of us be trying it? Saying it's free, or is it a pass?
It's a maybe.
It's a maybe.
It's a pass, probably, Penguins, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I don't have the time or the will for that sort of game anymore. Again, I escaped that world. I clawed my way out of those trenches. I don't want to go back.
What might not be a pass. THQ Nordic have announced their summer showcase for Friday, the 2nd of August, which will be 8 PM in the UK, and we'll have an update for Gothic Remake at least from it. You love THQ, Davey, so you excited for anything here?
I mean, I'll watch
so
it.
far, all we know is Gothic Remake's going to be there. That's like the only thing we know.
Yeah,
at the moment,
it's always
so.
it's worth a watch, and then you just go from there, don't you?
Yeah, I always feel a bit for them because I feel like we always watch their showcase and oh, that looks kind of cool, that looks interesting. And their games come out and they're always just kind of like, man, they. Is there? I mean, I've not played Destroy All Humans 2 remake yet, which I need to. But is there a third Destroy All Humans? Did they make one of them?
They made loads. There was a 360 one, I think that might be the third one.
Just keep pumping out Destroy All Humans remakes, and I'll get to them eventually.
Yeah.
And you
that's enough for me.
And remember from last week's news, THQ Nordic is part of the Coffee Stain and Friends part of Embracer now.
Yeah.
So
well, I'd like a Darksiders 4. That's if we're gonna want something we want from that, Pengi. Darksiders 4 would be great.
okay, that's what Dave wants.
That's what I want.
And that's not the only show that was announced. Xbox Games Showcase announced for Sunday, June 9th, and that will be 6 PM in the UK, and it's followed by Redacted straight after.
Which is clearly COD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Looking forward to seeing what they've got. They've got up their sleeves. They've got no excuse now, have they? Really, they've got all these studios and whatever. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think packaging the Call of Duty bit on its own is probably sensible, right? Because it's like it's one of them where like not the the us's of the world are probably massively interested, but obviously it does have its own audience, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it needs a big relaunch. Call of Duty doesn't it as a brand, so
Yeah.
it's supposed to be Black Ops, right?
5.
So usually the Black Ops games do well.
Go 4.
Yeah.
4, I believe. Yeah.
Cold War had a really good story, so if they follow that up, that alone, I mean, if it's on Game Pass, right? So, will we see them announce a Call of Duty for Switch? Who knows?
They did say it was going to come to Switch, but who knows?
Switch 7 is coming to, boys.
Yeah, right.
It's 2064.
It's not. It's just that it's Call of Duty 2 Big Red one from the original Xbox.
Yeah, I think there's more wait until the Switch 2 to start putting Call of Duties out. So I can see it being like a launch title for the Switch 2. It comes out like this November on PS5 and Series, and then March next year or something. Yes, Call of Duty is launching on Switch 2. fun times.
I saw is it Tom Warren that's the Verge dude? Is
Yeah.
that right? I saw he kind of leaked some dates as well for some of the Xbox stuff.
Yeah.
I think he said what's Starfield's expansion's called?
Shattered Space.
That's it. I think he said September. Call of Duty was October. Avowed and Flight Sim November, and then Indie in December, which sounds about right, doesn't it?
Mm. Having Indie in December seems a bit odd. Do you think I would have you would have had that?
I
in the
guess
November
also, like, if you've got like September, October, 2 in November, then
Yeah.
it's, you got to get it in there somewhere, haven't you?
Mm.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
And everyone seems to think that a new Gears game's being announced, don't they? Right at this.
Yeah, Gear 6.
I'd like to be excited about Gears, but Gears 4 and 5 let me down. So,
Well, as we get to later, Dave, you're wrong.
oh god, I've got
And
the list
we
as well. Oh.
And we finished. There was an Xbox showcase this past week, an ID at Xbox showcase, which was done by IGN. It happened. It was not good.
There we go. I didn't watch any of it.
I got halfway through, and I was like, I'm gonna have some tea, I think. And I think I watched the second half after. I was like, yeah, not a lot's happening here, is it?
No. I've got 2 highlights myself, and that was hard to get. 2 highlights. Dungeon of Hinterberg's got a date for July. That looks quite good. Where it's kind of like a Zelda game, but it's all dungeon. And it's got a weird social aspect in the town as well. So that looks quite good. And we saw more Lost Records as well, which had another trailer, and it's still just late 2024 for that. But that's literally about all I can tell you from that ID at Xbox showcase. It was really bad, like presented as well, like with the IGN people. Yeah, it was not good.
No, it's very much a so they've got a lot of like indies announced from Game Pass at other people's shows, haven't they?
Mm.
This is very much the like, oh, this is kind of like the dregs. It felt like,
Yeah,
it's like, oh, this is the shit that no one else wanted at their shows, but we've got deals with it, so have this.
yeah, because like we just had the Nintendo indie showcase, and you compare the two, I'm like, yeeks. And like the games they're showing, there was one way like going out killing monsters to get ingredient, and it like bad. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
this is like the like main game you're showing, and it looks, it'd be hard to say it looks like a PS4 game. It's like this does not look good.
But even at the Nintendo one, you had like Steam World Heist and is it Little Kitty Big City were both Game Pass games.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, you could have shown like something from them, but I guess they've already been shown elsewhere. So
yeah,
it was not great.
Not great. Did you watch any of it, Dave, or seen any of it afterwards?
No, as soon as you said it was terrible, I didn't bother.
Oh.
There we go.
No. I thought you might just caught stuff afterwards and gone, oh, actually, that trailer was good. What's the on about?
No, honestly, Chris, I trust you implicitly. I was like, if Chris has seen anything good, he'll tell me on the show. There's no need for me to waste my time.
There you go. Well, yeah, and the 2 games I told you, I don't think. Well, you might like Dungeons of Hinterberg or something, maybe. But I can't see you liking Lost Records because it's a Life is Strange like.
No, I only play real video games, as you know.
Hmm.
Is that it for the news, Pengi?
That is it for the news.
Well, there we go, the Pengos News Desk. Informative every week, ladies and gentlemen. So let's move on to our topic of the show before we end with our shenanigans. So we've been going back in time. Craig, like the Huey Lewis song. Looking at previous years and our top 10s in those years, had we done our top 10s. So this week's topic is 2019, which was 5 years ago.
Woo!
Me and Pengi were not yet 30.
I know.
I think I was still living in Taunton up at the start of 2019. There we go. So let's get to the list.
I'm trying to think if anything happened exciting in the world.
No, it was a bit of a pre-excitement year.
Brexit happened.
Was Brexit 2019?
Brexit was 2019, apparently, boys.
What a couple of years we had.
The Amazon burns. It's like
Yeah.
normal, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty good.
Uh,
Did Arsenal win a Premier League, Craig, in that year?
no.
No. Okay. So let's talk about the games from our list that didn't make the top 10. So we've got such classics as Kingdom Hearts 0.8, Concrete Genie, Link's
No, I
Awakening.
gave Kingdom Hearts 3 0.8 points to be funny.
Yeah, it's still not funny. Bloodstained, Judgment, Gears of War 5, Stadia exclusive Guilt, Tetris 99, Apex Legends, Need for Speed Heat.
Did anyone have Apex Legends?
I
Sorry to
also
cut you off
had
there.
Apex Legends. It was me and
Good
you,
man,
but we
Dave.
only got to full
Good
points
man.
for that. And
Yeah.
Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Those are the games that did not make it.
Come on, yeah. It wouldn't have made it, but yeah, I forgot
Okay.
that came out.
There were some good games. So at number 10, we have got a game that only I voted for, but it was very high on my list, and that was Days Gone. A PlayStation
it in-
exclusive zombie
Didn't I?
game, and only
Great,
Dave
but-
has played it.
I did call that to Craig that Days Gone will be on this top 10.
It is one of the many crimes you two have caused me that you haven't played this game. I don't know why you haven't played this game, because it's a game that you would both like, in a genre that you both like and I tend not to like. But there we go, Days Gone. Number 10 on our 2019 list.
If you put Days Gone on your list, but not Gears 5, you're a shadow of a man, Dave.
Didn't like Gears 5 at all, I've told you this.
Yeah, Gears 5.
I found
right.
Kate really uninteresting. I didn't like the way they did the open world, because that's not Gears of War. Like, I just didn't.
It's
I didn't
not
like
an
it.
open world, Dave.
No, but like
It's
the
just
open,
not.
but the open world segments, like it should be like I wanted corridor linearity, mate, like the good old Gears. But Gears 5 is just a continuation of me not liking Gears 4. It was just I just didn't like it. It's just not as good.
Gears 4 is bad. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
I was just compared to like the games I had at number 10, like it wasn't as good as Tetris 99 or Guilt. So for me,
Gears 5 was my number 11.
yeah, I just didn't like it. Like I said, I just didn't like it. But multiplayer was good.
So what happens when Gears 6 like totally open world?
Yeah, right. It's just you just play as a woke, like. Oh, anyway, number 9. This is a pure Chris Pengelly pick. That is Fire Emblem Three Houses on the Nintendo Switch.
Which game is only the 9th best game in 2019?
Yeah, this is one of the many games that only you voted for,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why it's so low. But yeah, I played it. It would have been in my top 20, but as I've said to you many times, I don't think it's the Fire Emblem game that I would personally choose. But why is it on your list, Pengi? You had it at number 2.
Yeah, I had it at number 2. Obviously, on my list, I went off my top 100, and it's very high on my top 100 because it is great. Like I said, to me, it's the best game on the Nintendo Switch. It's just more Fire Emblem, what was like in Awakening and stuff like that. Like, I know get your problems where they went even more into the social aspects and stuff like that, which again could be a little bit creepy as you're a teacher in a school with children. So that's
You heard that? You heard that right, Craig? You heard what he said, right?
yeah. But then it's Fire Emblem. What
Wait, what? So you're a teacher in school
Yes.
and you're shagging kids? Is that what we're saying?
You can romance like the student. Yes.
I mean, they're like college kids, but they're still like,
Yeah.
it's a position
Yeah.
of trust, Craig, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But the story is like really good, and that,
it's-
and like
my problem with Fire Emblem Three Houses is because it's split into 3 stories, and
4 technically.
yeah, right. After and there's
And
DLC.
you also got there's the DLC, so you could
and
say 5.
But it's just it's such a focus on the school element, which is like tedious as all hell. Like you have to do like lessons, and it's just I personally prefer the like medieval war setting of the other games, whereas this is like it's too much like an anime, and I
Yeah,
didn't like
see,
it
and
very
that's
much.
also one of the things. Now getting a little bit of thing like Persona, for instance, like 5 and stuff like that. The social aspects and that's like really cool, and it's why I like Shin Megami Tensei 5. I thought that was dreadful because it's pure game. It's pure gameplay, and you don't have any of the social aspects and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I just think the balance was a little bit off compared to Awakening and Valentio. Again, it was a good game, but yeah. So we'll follow that up with another Pengi solo pick, and that is our number 8 game, which was Pengles' number 1 game, Craig, which is, of course, Death Stranding.
You mean Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding?
No.
Yeah.
Obviously, me and Craig haven't voted for this, so why have you voted for it, Pengi?
Oh, it's just so good, isn't it? It's like everything. It's like the perfect Penguins game. It's sort of a walking sim, but not a walking sim. I love walking sims. It's pure silly story. I love pure silly story. Metal Gears, Kingdom Hearts, etc. Great acting. Love great acting. Music. Graphically, it's great. It's got all the cutscene. Oh, it's just great. You need to play it, Dave.
I started it and
Properly.
I didn't mind what I played, but it's a bit strange.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it was always going to be your number 1, so it's fine.
Mm.
We move. And then we move on to number 7, which is Craig's number 1, which is Resident Evil 2 a remake. Craigo, talk to us about remake.
I don't know if it's my favourite Resident Evil. I think 7's probably my favourite Resident Evil, but it's up there. But it's the one that got me into Resident Evil. It's the one that hooked me. The one that made me take the punt. And I must have bought this because I don't think it's on Game Pass. So I must have took the plunge and bought it. And it's brilliant. Pengles is hideously wrong like normal in his hatred for it. But yeah, great game. Highly recommend.
Yeah, a bit scary for me.
It is
I'm a coward.
fucking terrifying, Dave. It is
very
terrifying.
graphically intensive, but yeah, I can see why. And then to be fair, of the games you've put on your list, it is the game you definitely talked about the most. So yes, absolutely. RE2. So now we start getting into games that we've all voted for. For our number 6 is Pokemon Sword / Shield on the Nintendo Switch. I had it at number 3, and I think Chris had it at number 8.
Yes, that's correct.
So yeah, Pokemon Sword and Shield is a funny one because I think people look back and I think at the time it got a lot of criticism for Pokédex shenanigans and whatever, but it was just a fun, pretty standard Pokemon game that started to introduce the open world, like see the Pokemon in the area stuff. It had like a UK setting, which I quite liked, and it was the first sort of proper new Switch Pokemon game. I played it for like 200 hours. The DLC is really good. Can't really complain. It was just a good Pokemon game, and I like Pokemon, so I couldn't really argue with it not being.
That's
quite
pretty
high.
much the same reason for me. And like, it's hard to like with the Switch Pokemon games and stuff like this. Sticks to the formula pretty standardly, but it's like way better than the Diamond and Pearl remakes. And but then you get to like Violet Scarlet, where it's like, gone all open world, and then it runs at like 4 frames a second, where like Sword and Shield, being more of the traditional, actually, runs okay, for instance. But then Legends, does all the cool stuff. So
yeah, just a standard Pokemon game. Can't argue with it. If me and Chris have played them, it will be on these lists. Basically,
pretty much.
Get used to that.
Get used to Pokemon ZA to be on the 2025 list of this.
Right, pretty much. Now to completely change pace, number 5, which I have played a little bit of, but it's not on my list, is on both of your lists, with 12 points, is A Plague's Tale: Innocence. Craigo, tell us about those French rats.
Croissant.
That's the one.
Pastely. Rendezvous. Olivier Giroud. Yeah, no, it's a great game. It's a great game. I only played this because of Chris Pengelly. This is one of the rare moments that Chris Pengelly in his entire life has been right about something, Dave.
Sure.
Yeah, no, he recommended this. He was bigging this up, saying how great it was.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know, it looks a bit stealthy. And I'm a normal human being, Dave. I don't want to play a stealth game, right?
Right.
So I was like, I don't know, but I have a look, and I was like, I like the settings. It's that whole like medieval shit. We love that medieval shit, right? And you play it. It plays more like a puzzle game as opposed to a stealth game, right? And the setting is incredible. The the visuals are great. It's just got some really great like levels and moments. The level in that game where you go on that battlefield for the first time and all the fucking crows or ravens, whatever, they fly off. Oh, it's incredible, incredible, great shit.
It is.
I think I had
This is
four,
weird.
4 or 5.
But also this is weird because obviously we didn't do the 2019 vote. But this is like where I got like, did we not do the 2019 vote? Because I was like, I'm sure Plague Tale Innocence was quite high on it, so we must have talked about it quite a lot or something.
It's all a blur. Everything pre-COVID is such a blur with the podcast. So we may have done a 2019 vote. We'll look back now and we've all done completely different scores.
I couldn't find a 2019.
Oh, that's all right then.
I went back, but yeah, I just had this weird thing. It's like, yeah, Plague Tale was like quite high. That's gonna be high again, most probably.
I think it's because me and you probably talk about it to each other quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was a bit of a surprise hit, and obviously the sequel was also good. So
yeah, the sequel's even better. The sequel's great.
Too French for me.
I feel. Well, I was going to say I believe it's Days Pickup, but I feel like a game that Craig's picked up and I bought ages ago is going to be like this year's Plague Tale, possibly.
What game have I picked up?
No, not you. Craig picked
I
up.
was going to say, Banishes. I was going to say, I was like, I haven't bought any. I bought a game from 2010. That's the only game I've bought. Okay. So number 4 is the first game that all 3 of us had on our list.
Ooh.
Right, and that is of course The Outer Worlds.
Nice.
Craigo, talk to us about The Outer Worlds.
It was quite a refreshing game, right? Because it was Obsidian, and I feel like their big thing was it's like this big RPG, but it's not like this isn't 100 hours long. It's just like to do everything's like 35 hours. So can we want everyone to actually do everything, which is quite a nice, refreshing thing to hear, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to some of these games coming out and you're just like, oh, and this is my whole life now. I don't know if I had it the lowest. I had it at number 9. I don't know you guys had it.
You did have it the lowest.
Yeah. But I still thought it was really good. I really liked the companions in that game. What's the mechanic woman called?
Paffy, something
Like that. She's great, isn't she? Doing all the companion quests was great, and also it had a very like good comedic charm to it, didn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, it was very much Fallout in space with a little hint of Mass Effect and Rick and Morty.
And the DLCs. I played the first DLC. It was really good. I've never gone back into the second.
Ironically, the enhanced new console edition is on PS Plus, but it's not on Game Pass, which is strange. Which has all the DLC.
Yeah.
Very strange space edition. But yeah, I mean, I echo what Craig said. It was the perfect size game. Because like the problem that I've always had with the Fallout type of games that we had to overcome last year with Starfield was that everything is 50 hours long, whereas this was a good 20 hours. You got all the side quest stuff, got all the companion stuff done. Game looked and played fine. It was just an enjoyable game. A very enjoyable game.
Yes.
Okay, number 3. A game on my list and Craig's list. And that is, of course, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Craigo.
This is the reboot, wasn't it?
It was.
And this is, I think I've said before, this is my favourite Call of Duty campaign. The campaign for this is top fucking tier. It is so good. Playing that campaign on Veteran is just brilliant. It has some really like good tense moments. It has a lot of like really memorable levels. It has that whole level where it's just you going through that one house, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I know which level. I know which.
Doing all the breaches and all that sort of thing. And you're trying to obviously not to hurt the civilians and all of that. It's got some. This is one that's got some. It's got some open level design in there as well. So I think worked really well. It was number 7 on my list, just because that campaign is so good.
I had it at number 2 for similar reasons, and the multiplayer was really fun. Just was good to play a COD game again.
Yeah, it's a great reboot, wasn't it?
It was indeed. So number 2, a game on both of your lists, not on mine, and that is Control. That Craig had at number 2, Pengi had at number 4.
Yeah.
So, Pengi, Control.
Oh, Control is great. You talking about great levels like that house one in Call of Duty, the ashtray maze in Control is like gotta be one of like the best levels ever in video games.
It's so
just
good.
so good.
When that song starts
music,
hitting,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. It's like just has to be on the top 10 just for that, really.
definitely. It's weird as well because I went back and because this one just in IGN's Game of the Year, and I think did it win? I feel like it won like a few Game of the Year awards, and that kind of was surprising because you look back like OpenCritic, this game's at 83, I think.
Oh, seems really low.
Which is criminal. That is so low for what it is. I don't know if it maybe was a bit framey at launch or something like that. I can't remember.
I actually do. Kind of do remember that. So maybe the PC version was because Digital Foundry used it quite often for benchmarks and stuff like that. Because there's a certain section where like the frame rate tanks or something. So yeah, maybe the PC version let it down or something on that.
As Sony is now finding out, fuck PC players, right?
Oh god.
Yeah,
that was a news story. Pangos didn't stick in.
Yeah, he don't really think negative about Sony, does he? But yeah, it's great game, awesome soundtrack, and the DLCs are great as well. I did both the DLCs for this; they're both fantastic.
I missed the DLCs of these. I never got around to them. I really should have.
There's a level in one of them which is like it's not quite Astral Maze, but it's like it's nearly there. It's very good.
Yeah, and Kojima's in one of them as well, so you know.
He is indeed. Which leaves only one game to be number 1. A game that all 3 of us voted for. Of course, is Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, I suppose, on May the 4th. I had this at number 1.
Well, boys.
What was that, Gregor?
We timed that well.
We did. I have this at number 1. Craig has this at number 3. And Pengels has it at number 7, I believe. Or 8? Yeah, 7. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just... Yeah, it was, as a Star Wars fan, it's everything I could want. Game didn't run amazing when it came out. I mean, I played it a little bit after. I think it came out really late in 2019. I feel like, did it come out around a Star Wars film?
Possibly.
Maybe the last one, maybe Rise of Skywalker.
Be a bad Star Wars film.
Yeah, it wasn't a good Star Wars film. I remember the hope being like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna play." It was
our new hope.
It was our new hope. It was our last hope. But yeah, Cal was really well made, really well done. It was like the soulsiness wasn't too bad. The planets were all quite interesting. The story was really good. Game felt good to play. It was just good to be in the Star Wars universe, really.
Yeah, like I said, the cast of characters is very iconic as well, isn't it? They did a very good job with that cast. I think I played this on the 1X.
I played it on the 1S.
Yeah, because I think I played like the 1X like upgraded version because I didn't have the issues that people had at launch with like, the frames and that. It played really well for me. And the fact that it's like a Dark Soulsy game that all 3 of us like is, kind of says it all, right? How good it is.
Yeah, definitely. I still need to get to the sequel. Of course, that's now on EA Play, so you can play that on Game Pass, or you can play it on PlayStation or PC. So, but yeah, that was 2019, boys.
Great, yeah.
It was a pretty good year. We haven't had a bad year yet. So
every time we do this, you can look back at these years. And they're always amazing. We're like, God, everyone whinges so much in fucking gaming. You look back all these years, and you're like, they're just great, aren't they?
Yeah, because weirdly, I didn't watch a video, but I can't remember what. But they were doing like the worst year in gaming, and like the thumbnail was like 2017, and it's like I got like a pre-done list. Like I said, I used my top 100 as a base, and I was like, what I've currently got on my top 17 is like for 2017. It's like that's good. How is that like supposedly one of the worst years? So yeah, it's very odd.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I think the more like in between years between consoles. Like for me personally, like I'm anticipating 2016 being quite bad. I don't recall a whole lot from 2016, but like 2019 and 18, I'm like, no, I remember playing quite a lot of games. You know, like because I think we're gonna go back as far as maybe 2013 or 2012, and that'll be interesting to see.
I was thinking 2013 because that was
the new consoles.
The new console, Wii U is 1 year old and stuff like that.
And Craig wouldn't have played much in 2012, so it's harder for the big dog. But yeah, it's looking back, I think we've been pretty lucky with stuff to play across all the platforms, even a Stadia game making it into this list.
So, Davey, what was your top 10?
My top game was Jedi Fallen Order, then COD, then Pokemon, then Days Gone, then CTR, then Need for Speed Heat, then Outer Worlds, then Apex Legends, Tetris 99, and Guilt.
Nice.
Guilt.
Nice. Craigie, what was yours then?
Number 1 was RE2. Number 2 was Control. Number 3, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Number 4, Plague Tale Innocence. Number 5, Gears 5. Number 6 was Judgment. 7 was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. 8, Bloodstained. 9, The Outer Worlds. And number 10 was Apex Legends.
Nice. So mine, number 1 was Death Stranding, then it's Fire Emblem Three Houses, then Link's Awakening Remake, then Control, then The Outer Worlds, then A Plague Tale Innocence, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Pokemon Sword and Shield, then Concrete Genie, and then Kingdom Hearts 3. What didn't make it was Gears 5, Sky, and Sayonara Wild Hearts. And there was 2 others that didn't make it on my list because I didn't think I should count them as 2 remasters, Catherine Full Body and New Super Lucky Cell. Both like
I considered New Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's pretty much a remaster.
But
that's 2019. 2018 will not be as surprising. Having looked at what comes out in 2018, I could probably tell you right now what number 1 is going to be. But we'll cross that bridge, Craigo, in a few weeks' time, maybe even next week. Who knows? So let's end the show on what we always end the show, and that is, what has Pengels bought, what has Pengels sold, what is Pengels playing? The 3 Ps of Pengels. So Pengels, what have you bought, what have you played this calendar week?
I will say I bought nothing because we talked about the Quest 3 last week, but the Quest 3 did arrive on Monday this week.
And how is the Quest 3, Pengi?
It is pretty good. So far, I've not played Asgard's Wrath 2 yet on it, but so far I have played the very first thing when you load it in, and it is actually another Quest 3 exclusive, I guess, is First Encounters, it's called. I believe it's Close Encounters. Is it Close Encounters or First Encounters? Something Encounters. It's the game that's sort of like the Astro, I guess, part of Quest, and the Quest 2 had a similar pack-in game as well, from what I remember.
Yeah, I think that was called First Hands.
That's First Hands. This must be First Encounters then. So it's basically, once you've done your character and you've done your, logged in, it's the first thing it tells you to do, because it's got like a what do you call it? Like a social hub thing, and it's like, do this, and like get you used to VR. So it's one of the first things. It's in a mixed reality game though, so it scanned like my whole room. It knew like where my bed was, and like it did an outline of it, so like you wouldn't crash into it and things like that. The only thing it didn't scan in was my chair, so I had to scan that in manually, sort of thing. And it knew where my window was, and knew where my doors was, and stuff like that, sort of thing. So it's an MR title, and it's like these little I can't remember. I was going to say like little fuzzball alien things, a bit like critters before they turn into like the munchy ones, that like the just fuzzball. They come down in like a spaceship. The spaceship lands like on my bed in the mixed reality thing, and all these fuzzballs come out, and they're like trying to go out of the window and stuff like that. And like as I scanned my chair in, like they were like hiding underneath my chair, and there's a hole in my TV like cabinet, like underneath, where you like, I've got my Mega Drive underneath, but someone normal will put a DVD player or something there. Like they were going under there, hiding. You basically got to just go around your like room and shooting them and stuff like that. And then when you like shoot your walls, if you actually like miss and shoot your walls or your floors, like starts like cracks in the walls and stuff like that. It's like really cool. It's just like a high score thing getting you into mixed reality. It's like the first mixed reality thing I've played. I did remember playing something similar years ago on a Vive, I think, at EGX, which was like a zombie thing, and that was like coming to you in the room, but the room, everything was in VR, that, and you could walk around the room where this one like scans your room. So that was pretty cool. So I played a few things with that, a couple of rounds of that, but it's a pretty simple thing. It's just try to get a high score. That's it. And there is like a global leaderboard, and I think so. A few rounds of that on there, and then started downloading things and stuff like that. And then the other things I've played 2 more like experiences. Dave's favourite word, experiences. One of them I must have bought when I had my Quest 2, because it is a paid thing. It's under the game section, and it actually has achievements, but I would say it's more of an experience than a game. It's called Baba Yaga. It's got Daisy Ridley as one of the like sisters' voice. It's got Meryl Streep in it. It's got Meryl Streep. Was it Meryl Streep or Glenn Close? One of them in it, and Kate Winslet, I believe. Like all the voice characters in there, and it's like a Disney animated Pixar thing. It's like it's like an hour long. And it's got like 3 different endings and stuff like that. And you're mainly just watching stuff, but there's a few things you interact with, like you pick up a staff to do some like, magic spells, and it has got hand tracking where you like can like you got like clap your hands together to like bring like the plants back to life and stuff like that. That is quite interesting. Like I said, I must have bought it in a sale or something when I had my Quest 2, but I can't remember playing it before, and I never had the achievements where. So I couldn't have played it, so I played that. And then I played another one, which weirdly is more of a game, but it's under the experience section on the experience sections on Quest, and it has like no achievements or whatever, and it's free, so maybe that's why. Called Goliath, and it's narrated by Tilda Swinton, and the chap in it is actually story suffering. I want to get the right illness right. What's the one that Senua's got in Hellblade?
Not a clue.
Schizophrenic? Is that what she?
Yeah, schizophrenic. Yeah, so he's schizophrenic, and it's going like through his journey and stuff like that. And weirdly, this one has more of a game where you have like an arcade machine to play. There's like a shooting thing where like bugs are coming out, and you gotta turn around and shoot them, and
oh, it's not. It's Psychosis.
Okay, the one that you said before is the one he's got.
Oh, I was wrong but right.
Yeah, you're wrong but right.
I love it when that happens though.
It's got more game, like there's a few bits where you got to move blocks and stuff like that. Like I said, it has more video game elements than the other one. I mean, it's free. It's like half an hour long. It's something to play. And then today, and I know Dave has played this one, and I've played previously on PSVR 1. I started playing Tetris Effect. Go through the story mode. That game is still great. I wouldn't be surprised if that doesn't make my 2018 list when we get to 2018, because that's a great game in VR. I almost just played the whole. I think it's 6 worlds, just like one like sitting, but then it came down. You come like your battery's on 20%, and I was like, oh, I got 1 world to go. So I played a lot of Tetris Effect today. So that's my Quest at the moment. Played nothing on Switch. I've not played anything on Xbox for like cloud or PC or anything. And then on PlayStation, the only thing I've played is more Stellar Blade, which I feel I must be, according to PlayStation, I'm only 14 hours in, but I feel I'm longer than that in. And I've just done like the 3 main side quests that have trophies and stuff linked to them, so I've just done them before I've gone back to the main plot of that game. And it is so near. It is like copy and paste of Nier, and it's like, oh, the plot's like so obvious and stuff like that, but it's a great time.
Play near Automata, you fucking nonce, Bengals.
Oh, I playing Stellar Blade instead. I'm in the Korean one.
You're playing the knockoff Audi version.
Hmm.
Man up and play fucking near Automata.
Yeah,
You can also
maybe.
play Near Replicant on PS Plus.
I've played that.
Played it,
I
haven't you?
finished that.
There you go.
Yeah, and I
You
remember
loved
I got all
You loved
5
it?
endings or whatever, and it's great. I loved it.
Which begs the fucking question, why won't you just play near fucking Automata?
Indeed.
Maybe at some point.
Is that everything you played, Pengi?
That's everything I've played.
Craigo, let us know what you bought and played this week.
Bought nothing.
Oh, you bought
That's
Banishers.
it. Oh fuck, I did. I bought Soap Boys. Shit, I forgot. Right, ignore that. I bought Soap. Played first. Oh god, I'm getting attacked by a cat. I finished Harold Halibut Boys.
Mm-hmm.
That took me about 12 hours looking at true achievements. And I got most of the trophies. Not trophies, fucking achievements. God, what am I saying? What am I turning into? Trophies. I got 24 out of 27. I spoke about it a lot last week, so we won't bang on about it again. But I really like the ending. I don't think I mentioned it last week, but the soundtrack for this is very, very good as well. There's some very good stuff in there. I think it's all original music. So even if you're not going to play it, I'd recommend just having a little listen to the soundtrack 'cause it's pretty banging. There's some good German music in there as well, Dave, which I know you'd appreciate.
Oh, you know I love a bit of that.
Yeah.
What achievements have you missed? Is it ones you can get, or do you have to replay the game to be able to get those?
No, so it's actually got a really low completion percentage at the moment. There's actually only 2 people who've completed it so far.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's collectibles in it that people are really struggling to figure out.
And
Yeah,
I know you hate collectibles.
Yeah, people are really. I saw because I did. There was a missable achievement guide which I was kind of referring to make sure I didn't miss anything. I did see in that they were saying that people are really struggling to figure out where all these collectibles are and how to get them. So I don't think many people. Yeah, looking at the ratio for that one achievement is hilariously high. There's one I could go back and get, but I'm quite happy getting 24 out of 27, to be honest with you. And there's one which is it's called Slow Bro, which is the name of the studio, which is take 15 hours to finish the game. So I could probably load back in and just put the controller down, but I can't be bothered to do that. So yeah, but I'm quite happy to finish on 840G on that. And then yeah, my one pickup, as Penguin was reminding me. So I picked up Banishers, which I think cost me £41 or £42 in the end, off of Amazon, and that was on a limited time deal as well, which I was quite surprised about because I know you said you picked this up a little while ago for a lot cheaper than that, Pengi.
Yeah.
But it appears that this game is sold, I'm guessing, much better than they thought it was going to, because it is out of stock in a lot of places. Because I tried all the dodgy Pengi websites. The classics, the shop twos, the game collections, whatever other ones there are.
Yeah.
And it was out of stock on pretty much all of them. So yeah, I ended up going for Amazon. It's still £42 now, so it's still on there. Still got another 3.5 hours of that price if this episode goes up that quick. So I picked that up. I am about 8 hours in. I'm pretty impressed with it. It's a strange game because it's kind of open world, but kind of not. Well, it is open world, but it's not like traditionally open world where it's like there's lots of fields and that you run through. It's very much like corridors. So kind of like it feels a bit like Final Fantasy 16 actually. I know that's kind of more open level. Whereas the levels actually integrate and form into one big one. But yeah, it's kind of got that setting. It also feels like a very like throwback as well because they've clearly had this idea of you playing as these two characters at once, and then just kind of like framed a whole game around it, which is quite refreshing. It's quite a neat idea. The two characters are really good. You play as a Scottish guy, I think it's called Red McReef or something like that, which is a Scottish name as you can get, right? The combat feels pretty good, feels pretty fluent, looks pretty good, although you can see it at times that it's like a double A sort of game. Like the character models sometimes don't look the best, and the voice acting at times isn't always the best when you're not at like the main cast. I'm playing on the performance mode at the moment. I did try the graphics mode, which is the 30 frames per second mode, but it felt quite sluggish to me. So I think performance is the way to go when you get to it, Pengi. Although I did have to mess around with the sensitivity a little bit and put it down because it felt like I was playing a Call of Duty game back in the day on 10 sensitivity. I was like looking all over the place.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I did pop it down a little bit. Make they feel a little bit more like a modern game. But yeah, no, I'm pretty impressed with it. At times it kind of gets a bit of jank. Like it didn't crash on me, but I knew it was about to crash, so I saved and exited because every time I was loading anything up or loading up the menus, it was taking a long time. And there's times if you're just like full on sprinting around the world, like it definitely like jumps a little bit here and there. So there are moments when you can tell that it's like more of like a double A size game. But like on the whole, it does feel like a triple A, like full price game, which is quite impressive. So yeah, from what I've played so far, I'm really enjoying.
Yeah, I guess I kind of brought it up when we were going for our top 10, 19. Like I could see Banishers being like this year's a Playtale in a sense. Like, is that sort of fair? Like a double A game, but it's like quite good and better than anyone expected from what you've played so far.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely better than I expected because I counterpicked this because I thought this would be that bad. I don't know if it's quite got the polish as that a Plague Tale had, but then it's also probably more ambitious in the sense that it is like a open world game, and it's quite. I think it's quite lengthy as well. I think if you do everything,
it's like 30 hours, isn't it? 30
yeah,
hours?
yeah, and there's quite a lot of side quests and stuff like that. The side quest stuff, what I've done so far, are like hauntings, and they are pretty lengthy and they can be pretty good as well because it's a lot of them are pretty morally dark, and it's gonna be a case of trying to always figure out who's to blame, but then it's one of those where like everyone's a bit shady, and it does. I can tell there's multiple endings.
I believe there's 3. So
yeah, and it does keep trying to remind you to be like, oh, if you do this, then you'll get this ending. But I think that's the bad ending. So I'm trying to be a nice, good boy at the moment, so I get the good ending.
Nice. And is that everything for you, Craig?
Yeah, that's everything I played.
Nice. It was a very quick one for me because I've been a very busy boy this week. For purchases, me and Pengi did our referral shenanigans. We both got £30 for free from the MetaQuest. So
I haven't spent mine yet.
I used mine to buy Vader Immortal Episode 1, 2, and 3, which is a Star Wars like thing. As it was on special, and I got Asgard's Wrath, which is the big game, isn't it? Right. Haven't played either of those yet because I just haven't had the time. But on Quest, I have played some more Tetris Effect, which is my favorite Quest game. I think at the moment, it's great. Who knew?
Yeah, it's just so weird how it's just Tetris, and you obviously played on Xbox, both of you before in like 2D, and it's like how it's weirdly where the VR it's like there's no VR movement or anything like that.
It's just so like
in space and
calming.
there's a weird dolphin going right past me and stuff, and it's like like you said, the weird calming, and
it's like a music game. Like it really does feel like you're playing some ravey music game.
It's just great.
It's great stuff. On the other platforms, I haven't played anything on Switch. I haven't played anything on Xbox, and on PlayStation, I have been playing pretty exclusively Kena Bridge of Spirits, which I'm about 5 hours into, and it's really, really good. Me and Penguin shouldn't have waited so long to play it. It's just a fun-ass third-person sort of adventure game. It's a lot more like a hack and slash puzzle game than it is Pikmin, to be honest with you. So I think it looks quite Pikmin-y when you watch footage, but it really isn't. Really beautiful game. Like, it is really visually stunning. Music's good. Characters are good. Really highly recommend it. I know it's on Craig's backlog list, right, Kina?
Yep. Yeah.
And I think you'll enjoy it when you get to it. But it's not a massively long game, I don't think. But yeah, so I'm about 5 hours in, and I'm like, yeah, this is one of my favourites.
I don't know how far. Obviously, 5 hours in, I got to a bit where you're talking to someone in a cave or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far I am. That's all I can remember.
There's like basically 9 areas, judging by the trophy. So yeah, I do recommend you go back to it. And obviously, I recommend Craig play it next when he gets to his next game. But yeah, that's kind of all I'm playing. The only other physical pickup I have is I picked up today a £7 copy of Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii in my continued playing of the Wii as a retro console this year. Looking forward to getting to that, and I'll probably play some more tonight. Obviously, we've got a bank holiday here in England. I'm not working tomorrow, so got a lot of stuff. But as I said to you boys off air, like, I've got quite a stress. I've got an exam and a driving test this week, so hopefully they go okay, and then I can spend next weekend just sitting in my pants playing video games. That's the plan, Craig out. But until then, we will have to be behaved. But yes, that's enough a week. Another hour-long episode talking about 2019. I hope if you've got this far, drop us a like, drop us a subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Bye.